have to wear it to quiz night if I have another Halloween event.
Oh yeah, for sure, right? It's gonna for sure.
Yeah.
There's gonna be another event after
Yeah.
our business. All right, so we're live.
We're live.
All platforms, Facebook. Yeah, we are live.
Share na. Share mo na yan.
Yep. Hey Glendale, what's up?
Doc G. Ito, ready na discuss ng Dexcon.
D Prime. What's up, D
What up,
Prime?
D Prime? It's great to see you last time. Nung weekend.
Yeah, I saw him nung Jam with the Joshis. So it's been a while. So
Yeah.
what's up?
My dude.
I actually
D
saw a
Prime
lot of
is-
people again. I actually saw a lot of people
Yeah.
nung Sundays. It's like some people like I haven't seen in a while. So it's a good thing.
Ina.
Hey, Ina.
Hello.
What's up?
Daming Describe Wrestle Dream 2024.
I mean, it was kind of a nightmare, especially the ending, right?
Okay, I get what they were going for. It was
Yeah.
pretty clear naman what they wanted to do.
Yep.
We'll talk about some of it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. So. All right.
Yeah, it
Yes,
was.
Glendale. Memorable weekend.
I hope everyone's doing okay on Thursday night. Thursday naman. Ang bilis ng oras, no?
Yeah, the week is has gone by so fast. I mean,
Yeah. Super
sobrang
fast.
daming sobrang dami, especially this weekend. Sobrang daming ganap this weekend.
Be ready to share your feelings about Jam of the Joshis. Captain Mike, what's up, bro? One of the best dudes. New friend that I made this year. I love Captain Mike. Ito si Ador. Di pa nagbabayad ng utang. Boss Martin. Hello, hello. Oh, wala pala si Emile. Okay. What up, Julian? Doc G nag-all out sa boses. Alright, let's go.
I'm the best wrestler in the world. My name is Colin Cash Money Cannon.
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
What do we want to talk about?
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Because mommy is always on top.
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
I'm home.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
To say his name.
Name and he appears.
Hello, my name is Ilya Dragunov.
It's LA Knight's game. Yeah.
My name is Colin Cash Money Cannon.
She's on me, bitch.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb.
You have a father, but your father's dead.
G'day everyone, TMDK Sniper of the Skies, Robbie Eagles here.
Move to the
And you're listening.
You're listening.
And you're listening.
And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
To the Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
You're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
You are now listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. Well, Emile was here, but he's switching location. So right now it's just me. It's a boy Ro. And how is everybody doing tonight? It's Thursday, 4 days after our Dexcon weekend. The week has come by pretty fast. Napakabilis ng oras. Like, just yesterday, I was pretty sure I was just calling all the matches ng Jam of the Joshis, and now I'm here. I'm here in my room streaming in front of all of you. And how did we get here? How did we make it to Thursday already? It's already almost Friday. Like, what happened in the past 3 days with all of you guys? Hope everyone's doing great tonight. Pretty warm day. Malapit na mag-Halloween. Kaya we will be talking about a bunch of different things. We'll be promoting a bunch of different things. Let's get to some housekeeping, Jasper. And let's move on to our first item of the day. Yon. Well, WWE is on Blast TV, but a little birdie told me that might not be for long. So while we still have it, while it's still not on Netflix just yet, you can watch WWE Raw, SmackDown, and NXT on Blast TV, www.blasttv.ph. It's free for Globe and Converge subscribers. I believe it's also free now as well for PLDT home stream TV owners as well. So that's another big deal for you guys. It's also 179 pesos only for anyone else who is not subscribed to those internet service providers. So you get WWE, also get the NFL, which is in full swing right now, the NBA soon, WNBA right now, a whole bunch of other sports leagues as well. Then you got a bunch of different content that you can watch, all for free if you have Converge and Globe and PLDT. So go check that out, guys, www.blasttv.ph. Pretty soon, though, I think things will change. Things will be different when it comes to watching WWE here in the Philippines. So stay tuned for that. Right, Emile, let's tell the people how they can support the podcast.
Hey, hello, by the way. I just had to switch up locations. Okay, so you can support the podcast in two ways. In 2 ways now. You got the usual Patreon program and the Gank. I need to fix that. I need to fix how I...
Gank.
I need to...
Gank.
So the link is right there below. It's patreon.com/wrestling podcast and ganknow.com/wrestling2xpod. Both are available for only $5. So 250, 260 pesos locally. So sulit na sulit yan. Of course, there are perks. If you subscribe to either one of those, of course, you got the Discord server where it's always fun to chit chat, talk about wrestling, but I'll talk about everything else as well. We did just had a pay-per-view watch party, I think last week for Bad Blood. So if you want to watch alongside with us, you can always request that through our Discord server. Also, you will also get the review content of the weekly wrestling shows, Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, And I also wrote my review for Dexcon, the events last weekend. I don't think
Hindi ko
na-post, no?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
fine.
Martin,
Abangan nyo.
we'll post that soon. That's my bad. It's on me. Akin.
So abangan nyo yun. I think this sometime around this week that will be posted. And also you get another perk is the discounts sa mga service fees on the pasabays that we're doing. Malapit na. The next one is in a month for Black Friday, so watch out for that. And again, by subscribing to our Patreon and Gank, you're pretty much supporting everything that we do here on the podcast, going strong for 10 years. Again, the link is right there below, patreon.com/wrestling podcast and ganknow.com/wrestling2xpod.
Martin, malapit, yes, in a sense na almost there in a month, but also kind of far away that you have time to think about what you're gonna buy. So please do support the podcast, guys, because other than the events, your support via Patreon or Gank is how we get by and how we are able to bring you the perks that you have as listeners and patrons. Kasi di tayo bootstrapped by stand-up comedy and Shopaway. So di tayo ganun dito sa Wrestling Podcast. Right. Our next item on the housekeeping list, we have an event. We have an event next week, October 25. It is the special Halloween quiz night in partnership with Childman, a.k.a. Dino Cadates, a.k.a. Dino Imperial, a.k.a. Dizzy Savage. We'll be doing a Halloween quiz night again. To come over, test your wrestling knowledge. You can be solo, you can play solo, you can play as a tag team, you can play as a faction. Everyone is welcome. Yes, we encourage you to dress up in costume, whether it's of your favorite wrestler or wrestling personality or whatever character you want to play. I'm actually already thinking about what to go as kasi di ko alam kung aabot yung gusto kong bilhin. Yes, the answer is yes. You can bring a championship belt to Hobby Stadium. That is allowed by the Hobby Stadium management. So if you have been thinking about doing that, now that is the sign. That is your sign. It is only 500 pesos to join. If you are a WWP patron via Patreon or Gank, it is only 350 pesos. Each ticket will come with one free plate of the very, very delicious, very yummy Hobby Stadium fried chicken skin. So, up for grabs are legitimate, authentic prizes from WWE shop that we have gotten via our pasabays. So, please go join that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a gay old time talking about wrestling and playing, testing our trivia knowledge of wrestling. So, all right. That's it for our housekeeping. Let's go to our first topic. Rest in peace, Liam Payne, former member of One Direction. And we have chosen to include this here because it turns out, and I've learned this just today, I'm not much of a Directioner, unlike some of the younger people here. But Liam Payne was apparently a big pro wrestling fan to the point that he brought over Kurt Angle to the UK to quote unquote wrestle him. We'll post a video after this. I've already read it. I've already edited a reel, pero he really did a segment with Kurt Angle in a One Direction fan day. So that was pretty cool to see. I never knew that until now, and it's really unfortunate to hear about Liam Payne's untimely passing. Kasi we don't want to speculate here, but it seems like he wasn't going through a good time. He wasn't having a good time right now. He wasn't okay, if you will. So if you know anybody who is going through it right now, please go reach out to them, or at least tell them that you are here for them, and just let them know that you're thinking about them, and they can turn to you if they need you. So I wish all my condolences to the Directioners who will now no longer get a full One Direction reunion because of this.
Yeah, ito yung isa sa mga banda na actually sumikat siya while I was in high school. So I was aware of how popular they were and how gano'n sila kasikat. And seeing that segment earlier today, yun, at least na-connect natin sa wrestling, di ba? So, rest in peace to Liam Payne, and condolences sa mga 1B fans na, are saddened by this news.
Yeah. We hope that, we find out, those who want answers will get those answers, or those who need comfort will get that comfort from this unfortunate incident. Right. Let's go on, Jasper. Our next point. Okay.
Yeah.
What you have been waiting for. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this. I'm about to make a name for myself here. Right. Dexcon Weekend was really, really huge, guys. We had 2 events. One was Graveyard Shift on Saturday after the meet and greet. And then on Sunday night was Jam of the Joshis, featuring the headliner, Yuki Kamifuku, a.k.a. Kamiyu, going up against Chelsea Marie. And also a bunch of other great guests from all around the region. And it was really a good time. I'm not going to talk about it much because I was part of it. But I wanted to say that it felt like the old days in a good way. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. Maybe I'll expound in my own podcast, but that's my thoughts on that for now. What did you think of the whole thing, Emile? You were there for both days.
Yeah. Yes, I was there, fortunately, for both days. I wasn't even supposed to be here in Manila for Dexcon, but things happened, so I was able to be here. And again, it was so much fun. From top to bottom, both Saturdays and Sunday shows were different, and unique to each other. The Graveyard Shift was more of the wacky, the unorthodox wrestling show. It's the first time na nakapanood ako ng ganun na setup na walang ring. It was only in the mat, and it's kind of more leaning towards comedy wrestling, which I appreciate kasi I always thought comedy wrestling is one of the hardest things to actually do.
Yes.
To do comedy wrestling and be entertaining, and I was entertained that entire Saturday night, and of course Sunday, that was like the bigger event. That was pagkapasok ko pa lang, ramdam ko na yung grandness niya. The way they set it up sa Brawl Pit, with the entrance being on sa
entrance side.
Sa side
the door side ng ano.
Yeah, and they actually had decorations. So definitely an improvement over the past Dexcon shows. So, and also the crowd. The crowd was super energetic from beginning until the main event. Especially the main event. Like, first time ko naka-experience yung tumatapon ng mga streamers sa ring And the matches delivered as well. Gusto ko yung variety ng matches Meron tayong 4-way, may tag match, may singles match, and of course the 2 big title matches right there at the end. So again, congrats to Dexcon. It was a great event. And again, like I said nung video na we posted after the show, I'm looking forward to the next Jam with the Joshis.
Ano mo susunod, mga boss? Mga boss nandito in the room with us. Can you confirm or deny that we are getting another one? Like eventually? Do you know? I don't know. I don't know anything. I just get booked. That's it. But I don't know what's happening. Speaking of, I have to apologize to Dexcon management because I did make a Jobber Dito reference on commentary. So I don't know if y'all are gonna edit that out, but in
the year of our Lord 2024. From Moran made a Jobber Dito reference.
I mean, Matchmaker Linus came out as a cucumber or as a pickle. Pickle Linus. Speaking of Pickle Linus, Chino asked me after the show, bakit daw pipino si Matchmaker Linus? And I legit didn't know what to tell him. I did not know what to tell him. That's the part he didn't quite understand about the whole Kappa Chan's match. I understood what they were going for with the Kappas, but we don't quite know why Matchmaker Linus decided to dress up as a vegetable. So
even Martin don't have a clue in the comments.
Yeah, so hindi na alam ni Martin. No, Martin, so you don't know if there's going to be a second Jam with the Joshi. So, okay, we don't know. We don't know anything. We'll have to find out next year. Kasi, as far as I know, wala nang Dexcon events this year. All right.
Yes.
Ayun. So ayun, cucumbers are the favorite foods of the Kappas. There we go.
Okay, there
I did
you
not
go.
know this.
Okay, got it.
This was
Got
not
it.
provided. This context was not provided to us on commentary. So that was something that went over our heads. I will admit. Right. I want to hear from you guys here in the chat. What did you guys? Let's highlight a few things here. Sabi ni Doc G, Camille on TV is wow. Camille in person is more than wow. Elegant. Captain Mike says the Dexcon Weekend rocks. Lance says Cucumber Linus is his best bout machine. Lance also says that the new setup is way better. Ngayon ko na naintindihan bakit bawal mag-walk-in sa show. Kasi the show is, the entranceway is now where the gym's entrance really is. So, yun. Adore says she still can't get over the fact na inupuan siya ni Alexis Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Sabi ni Elmer, ni Boss Dwight, Boss Dwight, Boss D, Elmer, who's Elmer? The Light 37.4. Hirap mag-work kapag nasa harap mo si Camille, nakakilig. Yeah, I kind of had to,
Man,
kind of had to.
in the they had the spot in the match where lumabas sila, and I was like 2 feet close to Camille, man. It was amazing.
Yeah, she is really divine. Like, I don't know what she does, but I hope she keeps doing it. Ager says Alexis friggin' Lee. Troy over on YouTube, Troy switched over to YouTube, says he has been waiting for one of the Joshis to come here. He won. If you were around in 2019, if you were a fan in 2019, you would have won much earlier because Riho and Emmy were here. MJ says, yung sinita ni David Rivera si Jonathan Johnson. We had a good time talking about that on commentary because it took a while. It took a while for me to understand. It took a few seconds for us to understand why David Rivera was doing the wag dumura kasi may sign pala sa gym. And I was like, of course our foreign friends can't read the sign in Tagalog. Captain Mike says, Alexis Lee come back again. Ina says, Dexcon and Jam of Joshi is pretty cool, but we didn't see you there, Ina. Sayang. Lance says they did a JoJo reference when they were beating down Jonathan Johnson in the middle of the ring. So people know. I didn't know, so I didn't know. But if you know, you know. Right, thank you guys for joining us, marking out over Dexcon Weekend. I know you guys enjoyed that a lot. If you have anything else to say, you can just tag us on, or you can keep commenting, or you can tag us on social media as well. Right, I think we need to take our first break of the show. So before we talk about AEW, let's hear from our fellow podcast over here on the Pod Network. It's been a while since we talked about local wrestling on the stream. I keep forgetting that's what brings the people in. So
I think the last one was when yung last Dexcon then before this one.
Yeah, but we didn't talk. Did we talk about it on the stream? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think we did. We definitely did.
Yeah, we should do this more kasi di tayo bootstrapped by stand-up comedy and Siopaw. Right, let's move on to AEW. Right, so Jon Moxley has explained himself in the cinematic cold open of this week's Dynamite. So the Shield is now 2 for 3 for cinematic segments the past few weeks. So in this cold open, Jon Moxley explains essentially that people have been too unserious in AEW, and he wants the company to be serious. And now he's taken over. People, quote unquote, work for him, and he hates what AEW has become now. Therefore, he is trying to change that culture right now. So, Emile, what did you think of this? I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was a great way to really finally explain himself. What did you think?
I thought this was great as well. Kaso, a few weeks ago, I think it was the Go Home show before Wrestle Dream. He was explaining to Brian, someone else is in control. Someone else is making him do this.
Yeah.
So now it's different. He's saying, so I don't know what happened. Like,
no,
pero
sige. Go on.
But if they're gonna stick with this narrative, I'm gonna be okay with it. But I just didn't like how they kind of flip-flop the narrative in the week prior.
Yeah, I think they can explain it by saying someone else could be the people in AEW who aren't, serious guys, diba? So maybe that could be it. Like those people are making Jon Moxley do this. So pwede yun. That's how I would spin it. They did kind of veer away from the hints that there could be someone else controlling Jon Moxley. So I like this. I like this a lot. They would go on to interfere in the Conglomeration versus Elite trios match, and then they basically start a civil war. So they start brawling with people backstage to the point na chinallenge na sila ng Private Party tsaka ng Dark Order, and it's pretty interesting. They start with the lower tier tag teams first. But what did you think of that? That now that parang may mini invasion from Moxley and company.
I think it's about time we have something like this in AEW. I've been waiting for a storyline that affects everyone in the company. This seems like it. Now, everyone from the main event scene until do sa mga lower tier tag team trios teams are being challenged by the presence of these guys. And I like it kasi at least now they're not walang barrier na pag hindi mo storyline wala kang pakialam. Everyone is involved in AEW now. Like BCC is sending a message na
all the dudes. This is the dudes.
Yeah. They're just the dudes. This is their company now and everyone should be serious, I guess.
I want to see where this goes and whether or not they will actually introduce someone controlling Jon Moxley and company. So, but from the looks of it, I don't think they're going to do the Shane thing, if there is a Shane thing. Yeah. I don't think there is going to be someone controlling them from behind the scenes. Kasi malinaw na eh. Malinaw na yung ano eh. Yung gusto mangyari ni Moxley. Like, he made it clear what he wants to do with the people in AEW. And, okay, it feels like, the president of, he's a president because he's a champion. Something like that. And it's funny that yung favorite part that I liked about it is that the other guys, the faces, were challenging the Elite to do something about it, which they didn't want to do anything about it. But that was pretty interesting. That was interesting to see. All right, let's move on to the next.
I just want to point out yung comment ni Ina. Like, the whole thing, it's parang katulad siya nung early days of NWO, where they kind of run roughshod throughout the entire WCW roster. There were a lot of beatdown segments. The infamous spot where Kevin Nash threw Rey Mysterio through like a lawn dart. So parang ganun yung feels ngayon eh. Yan yung feeling ngayon na they are there to terrorize everyone, and it's gonna take the entire babyface roster to stand up to these bullies.
Yeah. Yep. I want to see that happen, but I also want to see if others are involved beyond yung mga mid-carder tag teams. Right, let's move on to another point from AEW. Adam Cole opens the live show and explains himself. So Emile has feelings about this. What are your feelings about this, Emile, Nate?
Yes, I was watching this live. I was watching Dynamite earlier live, and all I could say was, Cole was making me feel like an idiot for following the entire year, the entire MJF Adam Cole story for a year. Because the things that he was saying is so different from what I saw. And I know they're trying to twist it para magbuka siyang good guy, but I can't really root for this guy after what he did to MJF, even though MJF is a heel now. And just yung heel turn ni MJF was justified, but Cole transitioning into a good guy is not making sense to me, aside from the fact na kalaban niya si MJF, who is the heel.
I will say that they tried. It was a good try to spin the things around, to work their way into the double turn. It was an attempt. I'm not saying it was a perfect attempt, but I can see where they really tried to make it work. Here's the thing. I was thinking about the Adam Cole appearance, nung Wrestle Dream, and I kind of figured it out by saying that they didn't want to waste time threading the needle to get Adam Cole to turn face. Diba? Parang, okay, people want to cheer Adam Cole and people want to boo MJF now. That's what that's the status quo that people want. So if this is what they want, we'll just press reset and give it to them. Diba? Wag na nating paikutin pa. Wag na nating pahabain pa. Kasi I think they think that the more you extend it, the more you try to make it make sense, the more people will rebel against it. So might as well take the L of making it look like a nonsensical story, and just really give the people what they want. Gotta give the people what they want. Diba? So exactly. I understand you. You make a really good point. You're not wrong. You're totally correct in saying that. We all know that if you were watching the story last year pa to, more than a year ago, that Adam Cole was the guy who was putting MJF through hell, and that's not really a babyfacey thing to do. Even if you say that MJF is fake and you shouldn't trust him and you're stupid to trust him, you're still a dick. You're still a douchebag for doing what he did. I mean, you could say you pretended to be his friend and then you stabbed him in the back, basically. Diba? Yep. So you're right. Pero I also see the logic, if you can call it that. You just rip the Band-Aid off and just move on with the alignment, with the setup that people want, na face si Adam Cole and heel si MJF. Yeah. Anything else you want to add to this point?
Yeah, I think you had a good point there. Just rip the Band-Aid, take the L now, and then move on, start fresh with this storyline. Maybe they could do something good naman with the sides, with MJF being a heel now and Adam Cole being a face. But yun lang talaga yung kasi mali lang talaga yung nag-execution nung double turn.
Carlo brings up a good point here. Let's put that up, Jasper. People in the internet are comparing Adam Cole's pop to Roman being a face now, which is okay. The pop is the same because people miss these guys, but at the same time, yung characterization of Roman is still pretty consistent. He's still an asshole. Yes. He's still a douchebag. Yep. Kasi medyo kupal pa rin siya. He still doesn't want to play nice with Jey Uso. He's still kind of a douchebag to Cody. It's just that there's a bigger asshole in Solo Sikoa and the New Bloodline. So it's kind of the same, pero WWE paid more attention or is willing to pay more attention to how they wrote everything. So that's interesting. That's an interesting credit I will give to WWE and the writers and the creative team.
Yep. Saka plus, I think AEW was backed into a corner. That's why they kind of did this, diba? They kind of did the whole Adam Cole turning into a babyface thing.
No, I mean, I think you could still keep Adam Cole a babyface, pero let's not pretend na good guy siya. I think Stan put it well nung Weekend Reacts. He shouldn't have come out to help Brian. Diba? He should have still been the asshole Adam Cole. Now, you like him, but he still was the guy who turned on MJF and stabbed him in the back. But that shouldn't have changed. Diba? So, siguro the good thing they did was to take away the whole Undisputed Kingdom thing, the whole devil thing, and just have him be Adam Cole. But I think they need to find a way to have him to still be a douchebag like Roman Reigns, diba? Kasi that's why people like Roman Reigns now. Kasi angas siya eh. Kupa na siya ngayon eh, diba? So,
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. Before we move on to our topics about WWE, let's take another break and hear from our fellow podcasts again on the Pod Network. Right, let's go to Raw now. And our first thing about Raw is the War Raiders are back. They're still Eric and Ivar, but they are now no longer the Viking Raiders. So a lot of the Viking stuff has been toned down. Di naman completely eliminated, but toned down. They're not cosplaying Vikings right now anymore. Valhalla is also nowhere to be found. So what do you think of the War Raiders being back, being the guys that Triple H originally signed to NXT?
I like it. I mean, War Raiders in NXT were really cool, so they kind of brought back the coolness with just resetting everything. Just get them back to being War Raiders again. I mean, but I appreciate naman the attempt of making the Viking Raiders work. I mean, for a while, nasanay na ako na Viking Raiders na sila eh. And I was, like, I wasn't, like, complaining anything about it, but I just accepted it as they're the Viking Raiders. And it kind of worked for a while, but, the injury to, injured si Eric, diba?
Yeah.
The one who,
Eric, yeah.
So the injury to Eric kind of gave
and
them...
And also Ivar. Ivar also kind of...
Yeah, okay, yeah. Oo nga, na-injured nga din pala si Ivar. It kind of gave them a chance to repackage them, or not even repackage, just reset back to the old War Raiders gimmick, which, if there's a saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And War Raiders was a cool thing in NXT, and I expect the same. I expect the same thing here in the main roster, because the tag team division on Raw needs some new life.
Yeah, let's talk about what Doc G said in the chat. Let's put it up here. Damage done. Sadly, he's a fan, but some fans are kind of going meh about the whole repackaging. Ako naman, I kind of understand where that's coming from, because the War Raiders don't have a distinct identity compared to the character ng Viking Raiders, which was, they were Vikings, but now they seem to be just like imitating Vikings but not cosplaying them, if that makes sense. So ayun, so Valhalla is also on maternity leave, and I don't know, they need something to establish a personality and as a gimmick as the War Raiders, because right now they don't have much other than being a host tag team, which is cool. I like that. But if you're going meh, then that's probably why. That's probably what's missing here. Yun. Anything else you want to add about the War Raiders? They just really went through Alpha Academy here.
Yun nga, it's a cool way to bring them back. I mean, put them in the squash, and make them look strong. So I'm looking forward to the next few weeks. I hope they produce some vignettes to kind of reintroduce them as War Raiders, not as Viking Raiders. So let's hope for the best with this team.
Unfortunately, hindi siya Lucha Bros, so that theory was for nothing. All right, let's move on to our next point, which is something really interesting. So, 2 Brock Lesnar references on Raw this week. Seth Rollins said to Adam Pearce that he has slain a beast, and Cody Rhodes also made a reference to Brock Lesnar in a promo in his exchange with Gunther. So there are rumors swirling around that WWE is in talks with Brock Lesnar. WrestleVotes seem to have confirmed this, But I think Meltzer is still out on the fence about this. So I'm going to come out and say it. It's a bad idea because Brock is still a big part of the Janelle Grant case. And if Triple H knows what's good for him, especially after the premiering of the Mr. McMahon documentary, he would not touch Brock Lesnar. I know people want Brock Lesnar to come back. He is still quite popular despite learning what we now know about Brock Lesnar. But it is a very, very bad PR liability if he ever comes back. They do not want that smoke. They should not be chasing that smoke, and they would be really stupid if they did.
I agree with you. It would be a PR disaster if they bring him back. And, it's just not worth it. Like, I know Brock is a hell of a talent. He's a superstar. He's so popular. But with the way things are going with WWE, they don't really need Brock Lesnar as of right now. Not unlike during Vince's time, if you need to pop a rating, get Brock on the show. But that's not how things are anymore. In the WWE, they have their own stars at this point. They have created their own stars. They have their own monster now in Bronson Reed. So there's no need for Brock right now. I can't see Brock, adding anything great to the show. And yeah, again, he would be a PR nightmare for WWE.
Yeah, I don't think you need him. He is. He pops a rating, yes, but he also kind of drags the show down when it comes to vibes. Like, a lot of his vibes were because of Paul Heyman anyway. And since Heyman isn't around, so... and Heyman isn't associated with him anyway. He's not as entertaining as he was back in his peak. So, yun. Really bad idea. I hope the references are just references right now. Kasi, it's nice, to catch the Easter egg. Oh, I know what Seth's talking about. I know what Cody's talking about. But that's it. Let's leave Brock Lesnar in his farm. He can stay in his farm. Right. Last thing about Raw. An interesting thread that ran through the second hour of the show. Jimmy Uso is trying to woo his twin brother Jay back, and the storyline, which I'm guessing will culminate in War Games this November, is finally happening. So we have around 6 weeks, 6 weeks until War Games, and they will have all this time to see if Jay will come back to the fold ni Roman Reigns. So what did you think of this trespassing on Raw?
I like how they executed this. Jay is not he still doesn't want to do anything with the bloodline. It's consistent with how they're telling Jay's story throughout the year. So he still doesn't want to do anything with the bloodline. So no matter if Jimmy Uso is now a babyface or a heel, still Ionia, and it's consistent. I like consistency, and again, I feel like I'm being rewarded for following the entire arc. This is how he acts. So I'm sure dadating tayo sa point na he will join Roman and Jimmy, but as of right now, I like how they are slowly doing things.
Yeah, I want to know how Roman turns good, diba? Paano siya magpapaka-good boy about all of this. So, I want to see how they do it. I think they got something good planned. When it involves the relationships of the original Bloodline members, it's always a good thing. They just really failed with the whole Jimmy turning heel thing back last year, though. That was the only miss, I think, that they had when it comes to the Bloodline. The Bloodline's relationships. So, really interesting to see. I want to see where it goes next. Right. We have NXT as well, but before we go there, let's take our last break. One last break. And hear from our fellow podcasts on the Pod Network. Right, let's move on to NXT, which is having Halloween Havoc in a couple of weekends. And it's going to be a fun time. We already have 3 matches set, one of which is, let's put it up, Jasper. The tag team match between our 4 really trending ladies right now. It's going to be Julia and Stephanie Vaquer versus Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. And interesting, I think it's the first time na the women's championship scene is so deep that they have to put more than 2 women in the same match.
Yeah. Again, NXT women's division is probably one of the best women's division in wrestling right now. The talent pool is so deep that it's actually acceptable that they have a mid-card title now. You know, and they're the only division in WWE to have a mid-card women's championship. But when it comes to this match, dito rin naman to papunta eh. When they did that whole interference thing at the first CW show, I knew that a tag match was going to take place, and you know, this is a showcase for both Vaquer and Julia. This is an all-star dream-up. And they're going up against the mega heels in the women's division, and they reunited. They're the biggest heels as of right now.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
The all-star team up as well of Roxanne and Cora Jade.
All right. And then the other Halloween Havoc matchup, Jasper. We are getting the 3rd match in the Ethan Page versus Trick Williams trilogy. I'll be honest, I didn't really want this matchup. I guess I'm an Ethan Page fan, pero okay, you put Javon Evans already, and you put Wesley there in the championship scene. The Wesley is already challenging for something other than the North American Championship. You could at least could have thrown him a bone. I would have much rather seen Javon Evans go up and have a PLE main event spot, because that was an interesting. That's an interesting pipeline from NXT Level Up to main eventing a PLE for the NXT Championship. So what do you think of this, Emile?
Yun nga, medyo nabigla ako na Ethan Page got the win on NXT. I thought the feud was done after that NXT debut on the CW. And they've been feuding for a while now as well. So I thought that was it, and we're gonna get a 3rd match. I don't know about this one. I feel like, I thought Ethan was on his way to the main roster because they teased him on Raw.
I don't know.
Weeks back. Yeah. So I thought he was heading to the main roster already, but I guess hindi pa. I guess they still have one more match.
Patron Derv here says that he thinks this is Ethan Page's NXT farewell before getting called up. So it's possible, yeah. I think it's possible.
I can see that.
But we also could be in for like how many more months of Ethan Page being on NXT. So, di pa natin sure. Di ka sure dyan. Right. So yeah, that's about it for the big news on NXT. They also made the match. They made a rematch for Obafemi and Tony D'Angelo, but you know that's to be expected as well. So there's not much novelty about that. Carlos right in saying that Ethan Page is main roster ready. I mean, he did wrestle for a big brand in AEW for quite a while now, and he's also had experience in TNA. Nawawala yung TNA influence on NXT lately. It has been missing for quite a while now. Interesting.
I mean, we haven't even di pa natin nakikita si Joe Hendry after No Mercy.
That's why people think he's fallen off. People are thinking he's fallen off.
Okay. Yeah, people are thinking the Joe Hendry hype train is done.
Well, that's only because he hasn't been on NXT TV in a while.
Exactly. Yep.
Right, that's it for our topics for tonight. We'll end early here. That's fine. At least you don't have to go too long. Let's get some plugs. Emile, do you have anything going on?
Wala naman. Our SmackDown, is that still thing? The SmackDown,
I will find out tomorrow. I didn't plug it at the beginning of the show kasi lately our patron Naveen has been medyo going out on Friday night, so you prefer to sleep in on Saturday mornings. Is this really the hard part? No, this is really the hard part about watching live on in the morning. Lalo na on Saturday morning, so you don't know. I'll let you know if we do have tawag doon, a watch party for SmackDown tomorrow morning. I will on Saturday morning. Tomorrow's Friday. I will post it right away on my pages, on our social media pages. So, yeah. But do you have anything else going on with you?
I wrote my review for
Yes.
Dexcon Graveyard Shift and Jam with Joshi, so watch out for that on Patreon and on Gank. I think I'm gonna continue with my NBA 2K live streams as well.
Right.
I've been cooking up something new, probably this weekend or the next weekend, so just watch out for that on my personal Facebook page.
All right. Ina says CSJ finished the story is now a World Heavyweight Champion. Yes, we covered that in Weekend React. So if you haven't listened to that, go check that out. It's on your personal podcast feeds, whether Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. But if you also want to relive that awesome moment, Dexcon Decada is available on demand. Just go to dexcon.helixpay.ph. I believe it is really, really affordable, really, really cheap to go rent. Go check that out. But if you don't want to pay money, I believe soon enough it might be coming to television. So stay tuned. We don't know when. We don't know where. But it is possible. I did hear some little birds talk about it. So go. But in the meantime, go check out dexcon.helixpay.ph.
They posted the highlights on YouTube.
Yeah, the highlights have been posted.
Yeah, so subscribe to Dexcon's YouTube
if you're listening
page,
if you're listening to this right now, please go subscribe to Dexcon on YouTube. When they get 1,000 subscribers, they will post the ZSJ versus JDL match in full. So abang kayo. Go tell your friends. Tell them to go like and subscribe on YouTube. I think we can easily clear 1,000 subscribers. Go check that out on Dexcon Pro Wrestling on YouTube. Sorry, Helix Pay. Right. The next Puso Wrestling show is happening on November 30. So go block off those dates. That date rather, and then the morning after we will. And hindi pa naman final, but I'm still trying to lock it down with Skinny Mikes. But the Survivor Series War Games watch party should be happening on December 1. That's the morning of Sunday. Manila time. Yun. That's it. Thank you for tuning into the live stream tonight. We're ending early because wala masyadong ganap, but that's totally okay. At least you guys get to have dinner if you haven't had dinner yet. Sana masarap ulam nyo. Thank you again to our babyface producer Jasper, who is making sure we sound great. We sound the best we can be, whether it's here on the live stream or on your podcast feeds. Right? Please go follow us on social media at EML_Meister for Emile Nate, at _Stan C for Stan, at Chino Supersize for Chino, at Monday Night Rowan, that's NITE Rowan for Rowan ASH, and for me it's at Roaz War on Twitter, at Shang.Daddy on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. And for the podcast itself, it is at Wrestling Podcast on Twitter, at Wrestling Podcast on Instagram and Threads, at Wrestling2X Pod on Twitter and TikTok, the Wrestling Podcast on Facebook. Right.
There you go.
We'll see you next week for our audio-only episodes. We have one to be recorded right after this. And syempre, we also have Weekend Reacts and Picks of the Week on Tuesday and Wednesday. Right. Until then, please stay safe, stay warm, stay dry. Muulan-ulan pa rin. And guys, don't be a dick. All right? Don't be a dick to your customers. Don't be a dick to your fans. Wrestling Podcast out. Peace.
Bye, guys.